My name is Wilson.
And I'm Billy.
We are potatoes passionate about movies and TV shows, from trending blockbusters to artsy indie cinemas.
And this is Potato Talking.
Hello, my beautiful, beautiful listeners all over the world. My name is Wilson, and today again I'm joined by my good friend Billy. Say hello, Billy. Even louder, Billy. We can't hear you.
Hello.
Oh, would you hear that? He just bought himself a new microphone. Fancy. Did you feel a bit special today, Billy, with your new equipment and setups?
Special, but my wallet disagree with me.
All right. So right. So today we will be talking about not a movie. It's also technically not a TV series, because a TV series would be running on cable, which who in the world watches cable now? Okay.
But for the sake of convenience, we still call it a TV series, though. This series is practically one of the in the top chart right now.
Right. So it's directed by, well, I mean, it's pretty much most of the cast and crews are all Korean. So if you're Korean, or if you're probably one of the people who actually are working in this production, if you're listening to us, sorry if we butcher your name, because we're not Korean.
We're
All right?
sorry.
We're really, really sorry if we do, because we don't mean it, but because we're not Korean, obviously. So
We'll try our best.
We'll try our best. So it's directed by 𝓟𝓸𝓽𝓪𝓽𝓸. I think I read somewhere that like for this trivia, he was also like a writer as well, if I'm mistaken. This is originally a short film at first, but it was later adapted to a comic, and then now it's a miniseries. But we'll get into that in detail later on. Written by also actually with the same, pretty much it's like the same people that was involved in the short animated film, Kyu Seok Choi and Sang Ho Yeon himself, and starring Yo. I'm so sorry. Yoo Ah-in, Kim Hyung Jo, and Young-min. I'm pretty sure it's pronounced Young. Young-min Park. So those are like the top three main cast. They're playing the main characters. I'm pretty sure there's more, but then we're gonna be sitting here like all day, just like trying to correctly pronounce people's names. But
Does only appearing for the first 3 episodes consider a main cast?
Yes. Yes. Because I noticed a lot of people, when they're reviewing miniseries, they don't actually finish the series itself. They just watch like the first 2 episodes, which is pretty unfair, I would say. Because it's like it's something like you watch a movie, right? And then you only watch like the first 10 minutes, and it's like, okay, I watched the movie already, and I'm gonna review it. Like, bro, there's like you haven't seen like the rest of the film yet. Like, what are you talking about? You know, and sometimes kind of piss me off a little bit. But I mean, when you have like when you need to like check out like content like every day, then I kind of get it. But still, I don't know. Anyway,
well, but you can always catch up on the movie on Netflix. Sorry, not on Netflix, on YouTube, right? Those channel where they
You mean recap the movie?
Yeah, movie recap. There you go.
Seriously, I'm gonna freaking throw up. I just ate like some whole bread earlier because I was hungry, and it's like,
all right, series, and the series is called Hellbound.
Yes, the series is called Hellbound. I forgot to mention about that. What do you think about Hellbound, or Yok in Korean?
Hellbound is a very interesting show. So honestly, I'm not into horror genre, but then I mean, in the end, this series is practically a horror genre.
Is it a horror genre?
think about it. There's the demons, right, or executioners, or whatever you call them. That
Uh,
drag you to hell.
I'd
The,
say
so,
it's closer to a thriller, but
yeah, sort of. But then again, there's always a monster, supernatural monster to be precise.
okay.
So yeah, in my first episode viewing, right, I was very scared, just because like, oh no, it's this one of those horror show. But then I started warm up to it because in the end, as you said, it is a thriller show because this is practically a series about human nature conflicting with one another and how the concept of religion, sin, morality, and influence gets questioned here.
It's
So
question and also taken advantage of from with some people because they can.
yeah, so I feel like you know how sometimes people says a story or a series as a character-driven drama, right? Well,
Mm-hmm.
technically, even though it's somewhat character-driven, it's I feel like the characters are just pawns within the grand scope of the story to explain the theme of the story and to
It is.
bring up questions.
It is. It is. Here's what I think, right? So, just briefly, when I saw the first episode, the concept itself of so what happens is you have the let me check. You have the angels, right? So they're the ones who delivered the decree, which basically means they delivered the message of uh so what happens is they approach somebody who they need to send the message to, and they deliver the message saying that you're gonna die in 2 weeks, or you're gonna die in 1 year, or I don't know, 10 years sometimes,
Or even 30
and
seconds.
or 30 seconds. I mean, it's completely random. I think, but it never was really explained, which I preferred that. And then once their time was up, then you got like these what do you call them?
Executioners. Let's
Exec
call them executioners. So
Yeah,
they're
so
just
there's
three giant hulking black shadowy gorilla.
yes. I just realized I don't like gorillas because earlier before we record this I was thinking like they look like rejected monsters, like kaiju monsters from like Godzilla or something.
Imagine them being kaiju though, because that means they'll
Oh,
be big. And no, I'm not saying like, oh, you can't have a big monster like that, but I think that's a boring design if you make them gigantic. So it's just they have a simple shape, if I should say.
um,
But that's another topic for if we watch a kaiju series. Man, I wish there's a kaiju series. That'll be fun.
all right, so let's uh let's start talking about the things that we enjoy, which I think you also have a lot of things to say about. So let's start with you, Billy.
For one thing, right? Unlike you, I actually take the monster design at the start, and then it got stale,
Mm,
and then for some reason it became fresh again
uh,
towards the end.
yeah, that's okay. Okay, the way you say it got fresh again at the end, that's a little bit odd, but I guess.
I suppose it's because the importance of the final scene. Remember like what happened in the end?
Yeah, yeah, I
Alright.
do.
Yeah, but we'll get into that later. But I don't know why. I think it's just so fitting. But at least that's for me. And then other than that, right? I really like how they depicted cult here. How they have members everywhere.
Mm,
And
mm.
that's the thing, though, right? They have a cult member that is a police officer who leaked the information of the
Oh yeah,
the woman
you're
that's about
right.
to be condemned. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. And then he went like he leaked it on an online stream, and then it's like, yeah, Arrowhead, Arrowhead. And that's the thing, though. It's just like it's with cult people are trying to find reasons of the misfortune that they have.
It's almost like I started to notice because during my spare time, right? I mean, I don't do it every day, but like during the times where I'm kind of interested with this kind of stuff. So usually cults are like they basically happen because usually somebody at the top, is he or she or whatever gender or whatever, they think that the they the right, and they want to send their doctrines to basically everybody around them, and they try to influence as much people as they can. So in this case, it's actually pretty realistic to how real life cult actually works, which is kind of scary too. It's it because I think that you might know about there's this Korean Christian cult society
I don't know how to
in
pronounce it. CCOG, I think.
yeah, that one. So
Let's call them SCJ, just so we don't butcher their name.
SCJ. So um oh boy. Uh okay, I never been to SCJ yet, so thankfully.
Oh, I
um
know someone who almost got caught into it.
but yeah, I'm pretty sure they probably have done like some research on that cult in particular, or maybe not that particular cult, but a similar one somewhere in Korea. Because um, if you are walking down the street, like just by yourself or something, uh, if usually like there's gonna be some like people, like two or three of their members, just like standing on the subway station or like somewhere public, and then they're gonna approach you, and then they're gonna start to share the prophecy and all this stuff. Well, supposedly prophecy, but uh, yeah, actually, it's kind of similar here. Well, they don't show like too much of how the cult actually influence the people in this series, because because the thing is, this is still like the first season, right? We have a lot more. Like, I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a second season like coming up very soon, which I'm also excited. But yeah.
But where the similarities end, right, is that
Mm,
the thing is, let's be real about how religion talks about the supernaturals, right?
mhm,
Is that in real life, most
mm,
religion will retell stories back from far past. But in this story, is that they are trying to find an interpretation, justification, or whatever you call it, right, of a supernatural event that nobody can explain, nobody at all, nobody knows what happens, and then it's the machination of the first cult leader of the New Truth in the story, right, 𝓟𝓸𝓽𝓪𝓽𝓪, to find a meaning behind his suffering.
so
Well,
because of the fact that sorry, you can continue.
I was about to say it's everyone's suffering because it's not just him who was condemned, but let's be real.
Ah,
I think there is a lot of personal feeling he put into it, right?
no, definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, if you approach it a bit differently, I'm pretty sure it might not turn out like this. Okay, I don't want to bring in Christianity, but am I allowed to talk about this? Mm,
Well, but they have different doctrine though in the story and compared to Christianity. Heck, actually, remember there's a plot point where spoiler for the later part of this series, where like the baby is about to condemn to hell, right? And
yeah,
then
that was very weird. That was very
yeah,
weird.
and then Min Hye-jin, the lawyer, she
Mm,
posted she broadcast the fact that the baby is about to go to hell, right? And then the leadership of the cult, after Jinsu, what's his name again? Kim Jong-chi,
yep.
the second chairman. Like him and the
Mm,
committee, they're discussing on how to counteract that. And then that's the thing. The doctrine is completely different, but they did try to like to make it sound like Christian, where they put the concept of original sin as part of their doctrine. But the fact is that their original doctrine is different from Christianity. They try to make it easier, so to gain more influence. But they're willing to bend their doctrine just to gain power. Oh yes, there's a lot of power play here of
They
how.
even
Hmm?
they even able to convince like the Arrowhead leader, like the Arrowhead streamer to it's like so Kim Jong-shi, right? So he basically just like give him a call and it's like, oh, you know what? He's like, wow, that is such a very touching testimony you just give there. I think you are the Messiah, and then the Arrowhead, his name is 𝓟𝓸𝓽𝓪𝓽𝓸. He's like, oh my God, I'm the Messiah, uh, so yes, there are a lot of power playing, and yeah, I'm pretty sure even in the original doctrine, they've never mentioned anything about the Messiah, but because they kind of want to work together with the Arrowhead, so they're willing to do that.
It's not that
You
they
know?
want work together with the Arrowhead. They just are willing to go to any lengths just to preserve their power.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
You know what I like about this series, right? Another thing
It's
is
really
that
messed up.
it's really messed up, but that's the thing though. It's just that how to put this. This series actually depict many different kind of crazy. You know what I mean, right? Sometimes you watch a movie, a series, you probably have like one or two psychopathic character, and most of the time, if there's multiple, they have a similar trait. But here you have, yeah, Jeong Jin-soo, right, the first cult leader, who, even though he have have a benevolent intention, even though it's twisted, you can still call him crazy, one degree or another, right? And then
He's more of the psychopathic kind of
yeah, but
yeah.
yeah, exactly, psychopathic. And then you have Kim Jong Chil, the second chairman, who will do anything just to retain power. So he's a sociopath, right?
Kind of.
Yeah, and then of course you have the streamer himself, Lee Dong-wook, which is, I don't know how to describe him.
I think the closest one I could think of is the Joker, but he's not really the Joker, honestly.
Somewhat anarchist, yeah. Somewhat.
Yeah. Some of anarchist. You're right. Oh yeah. Should we talk about the acting?
Oh, dude, the acting, top level.
Probably better than Squid Game. I will tell you that.
Yeah, I do agree. It's better than Squid Game.
The quality is much better than Squid Game because you can see that when they're distressed. I mean, okay, even in Squid Game, when they're distressed, yes, you can somewhat you can somewhat tell, but it's kind of borderline like anime, you know. It's like what happens if you adapt an anime into live action.
Anime.
That's what Squid Game will happen, but this is more of it's way more grounded. When the characters get hurt, right? When they got injured and like and like all these stuff, so yeah, they're quite vulnerable, especially like the render scene of when you got like these arrowhead gangs like just beating up like J. Oh my God, what's her name again?
Min Hye Jun.
Jin Ming Hye Jun's like mother. Remember
Oh,
that
that's
one?
very fucked up.
That's really messed up. I was like, wow. And then yeah, I mean obviously yeah, and then she's trying to put her to the hospital, and then she check her pulse, like, oh, she's dead, and then just walks away. I was like, oh my God.
I read the scene a little bit differently though. It's like as if nobody knew that she's already dead, but you can see that she's not really tended for. I reckon it's that because everyone really bought into the new threat bullshit that they're actually a bit scared of Min Hye Jin and her mother. Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Even though they're both very vulnerable people.
yeah, exactly. It's like the hospital treated them very indifferently.
Yeah. You're right. You got like people like even in the hospital, like when Ming Hyejin is like just waiting like at like one of the seats in the corner, and then you can see like all these like nurses and like patients just looking at her like really like weirdly. It's like, oh my God, it's so uncomfortable. She's definitely not welcome there, even though yes, obviously because her mom is injured, well actually dead, but at least in terms of just socially speaking, because you can tell everybody just trying to keep their distance away from them as much as possible. Which is also pretty cool, close to real life too. Like it's like what happens if a celebrity got like a scandal and then like a lot of people just want to keep their distance.
Although it does raise a question about multiculturalism and tolerance, right? Religious tolerance. Yeah, kind of think about it. Like, they're like the equivalent of people of having different religion, and then they got ostracized by society. Well, not by society as a whole, but let's say by a major organization, and then they get repressed. And the thing is, society in general, they're too scared to help. They're too scared or already stigmatized by that point. Come to think about it, there's a lot of subtext in the movie, sorry, in the series. For example, like even though on paper it sounds simple, there's a lot of thoughts and meaning on the fact that, you know, like how after the neutrons already explode, right, in popularity, and they televise people's demonstration just to gain power. And there's the professor who is part of an underground organization that is countering the new truth. They're calling themselves Sodo, I think, right? Yeah, and the professor said that everyone should have the rights to die alone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh wow, that's heavy stuff. It's like for some reason, right? I suddenly remember. I'm sorry, this is very, very touchy subject matter, but you know, like assisted suicide.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does bring that up to my mind. Like having the rights to, how to put this, like choosing the circumstance of your own death, rather than having it's televised and sensationalized for someone else's profit.
Was that the guy in the lake, or is it someone else?
Yeah, it's the first example of, you know, like one of their quote unquote client.
No. Remember, like there's a like the production director, right? Yeah. I think he was introduced in episode 4. If I'm not mistaken.
Episode 4.
He has a coworker that apparently the coworker got the message from the angels, and then he basically just pretty much vanished, and somehow the production director Bae-young Ye, right? He was able to track him down, and he found out that his coworker is trying to drown himself.
No, he just wait there.
Yeah.
I mean, and so even if he dies, nobody will find his dead body fast enough.
Yeah. It's just like, oh my god. Oh.
Because actually, they did mention it in passing, right? Is that even if you die before your demonstration, your soul will get pulled out, and then you still get to suffer. Oof, that's really hard, huh?
There's like also like there's like an example of like one of the guys, right, who tried to kill himself, and then what happens is on that actual day, like his soul, you know, you can clearly see his soul is like trying to run away from these executioners. I want to say demons, which they kind of are. Yeah, and then you can still see that he's suffering the heck out. So technically, even if you're in spirit form, you can still technically experience pain.
Oh, concentration breaker. But hey, apparently the existence of soul is confirmed in this universe, eh?
Yeah. That's for sure. Yeah.
Man, spoken like an atheist. But anyway. Yeah, I feel like that little tidbits, right, is probably just a plot point that gets dropped by the writer just so the fans doesn't ask, why don't you just kill yourself before then, like what happened by then? I see why. And then like nobody asks about it anymore.
Honestly, the series itself is very, very well made. It's very competent.
What do you think about the final scene?
Oh, the baby.
Well, it's something that us mortal can't figure out until the next season.
I know maybe some people would be pissed off with the ending, But I actually like that, the fact that they never explain why the baby was due to die in 3 days. Yeah, a literal infant. It's not even baby, it's an infant. The human just got into Earth and then just see like everything for the first time, you know. It's like, I'm gonna die in 3 days. Oh, okay.
That's practically the commentary about religion, right? Is that the thing is that religion tries to explain natural phenomenon in a way that easier to understand and to find reasoning.
Logical reasoning.
Yeah, logical reasoning.
Mhm.
But the thing is sometimes things just happen randomly, right? Remember when the professor explained about his daughter's death? His daughter got decree. Literally, she'll die in 30 seconds, and then she dies just right there and then. But then he didn't blame anyone about it. He didn't blame himself. He didn't blame the daughter. Probably he might blame nature or God. Who knows? He just treated it as an accident, as a misfortune that you can't do anything about, right? And that's the thing, right? The first cult leader, like, he tried to find meaning in why he got decreed to go to hell, even though he was teenager, right? He tried to find meaning behind it, right? Because he tried to make value, even though a lot of people will disagree. Like, hey, yeah, I'll make a cult because they'll make the world a nicer place in the face of this unfairness.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. But yeah, the thing with the baby, who it does throw a lot of wrench, and people try to find the interpretation of it, right? Remember how the streamer got really confused, like, what's happening? What does it mean? This message is too complicated. Why are you trying to say it to me, God? Yeah.
It even gets weirder when the mom and the dad of the baby just try to cover the baby up, and when the executioners try to execute the baby, but they wouldn't be able, they can't do that because the parents are pretty much like covering their baby, and it turns out the baby's alive, but the parents are dead. And like, what? Yeah.
Which is okay. I mean, like, they're supernatural, but then again, I feel like something about them is very physical. Even though they can apparate out of nowhere and then practically teleport to nothingness again, like everything they do, right? They have weight to it, and then technically you can shoot at them. So I wonder if when they send their subjects to hell, there's this physical properties or something. Like how the fact that there's someone on the way, maybe it's the body itself, or maybe it's a soul, perhaps. Maybe it might get blocked. Who knows? But it's never explained, and I don't think they'll ever explain it in season 2.
I thought they kind of already explained that part because explain one thing, but also ask me another question. So what happens is, so the baby's alive, right? But the parents are dead. Okay, that's okay. Then later on, literally in the last 10, 3 minutes of the final episode, the mom from the first episode, right? Yeah, the mom who has kids from different fathers, she came back to Earth again, completely naked. So technically, if you go to hell, okay, everything about you, except your actual biological form, is left out pretty much. But then again, it also ask me another question. It's like, so if that's the case, so two people now are in hell, but now this one gets out. What is that supposed to mean? I was like, what?
Is equivalent exchange, or maybe
I don't
the
know.
nature,
I don't know.
or maybe the nature of hell in this universe is different from how we imagine it, as at the very least from Judeo-Christian point of view, where like they're practically based the new truth on Christianity, where it's eternal hell, but maybe it's purgatory. But that's the thing, we don't know until they explain it, or heck, they will never explain it, and just like maybe that character in season 2 might be confused and she wouldn't remember anything. Who knows?
Yeah. Okay, yeah, or if she actually remembers a lot, there might be a completely new cult. It's possible.
Who knows?
Anything can happen. It's like this is how amazing this series is actually. they give you enough information for you to digest. It's not like Star Wars like, at all, you know. At least like the new trilogy is like, wait, why does Rey, wait, how is she able to fight? She has no didn't she has no experience? Like, wait, what? You know, it's not like these stupid questions, right? They're supposed to be established, or in the actual in the story.
Think about it, like when you say asking stupid questions about Rey's ability in Star Wars sequel, right? Is that because we already watched the first 6 movies, right? The prequel and the original trilogy, and it's already
Yeah.
established that you need training. And
It's clearly established also. It's very
yeah,
clear.
it's very clearly established. So the fact that they deviate away from it, of course, it's mind-boggling. But in this situation, right, is that it is indeed supernatural in a very grounded world. So you cannot explain everything. But I think that's not the point of the show. The point of the show is how people will react to something supernatural, you know? The tension is not with the monster, as like I said earlier, right? If a Western country will make this kind of movie, they will probably make it a survival horror. Yeah. But the question it becomes like how people react to it, because I think it's something that it's a universal feeling, right? Humans asking about, questions about their mortality.
Yeah. Anything else you wanna say before we talk about the stuff that we don't like? It's not a lot, but
yeah, you go on. Yeah.
Okay.
You start first.
Back to the designs of the executioners. I don't think it's good. I don't think it's the worst. I mean, honestly, it's kind of it's pretty okay. The word is ugly, which is in and of itself is good and bad. It looks ugly, and it's kind of supposed to look ugly because they're supposed to look otherworldly. But then I also have the problem of why do you have to design this monster to look like a pile of turd? Like I actually look like a gorilla who just bathed in the turd of gray and came out. I think they could pick a better design than just like gorilla turd, but that's just me. I mean, it's just a small thing, but I honestly wish they have like another design or something, because this one is like, really? Like,
Yeah,
is that like really the best one you can like execute? Yes, it's even okay. It's because this is an adaptation from the comic, right? It's also an adaptation from the short animated film, but still,
I've never watched it though.
I've seen some images from the comic. They kind of look similar, but the thing is, in the comic, right? They're drawn completely black, completely black. So I don't know why they chose to have like they put on like a gray color palette on these I'm just gonna say monsters.
Oh, you know what they could have gone? The approach they could have gone for is that they probably have Fanta Black. It's a real color, by the way.
What the? Huh?
Fanta Black is a patented material, right? That is a black paint, but it absorbs 99% of light coming to it. So yeah, so whatever object that's painted to, right, is that from our human eye, it looks almost 2D like.
That's one way, but I think even with like a similar color palette, I think you can go with the more sleeker design or something that kind of even something like Roger Rabbit, but not really, you know. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just being a bitch about this, but
another thing that I noticed from the webtoon, right? I only read 1 chapter so far.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I'm now actually very pumped to read it now that they actually mentioned that the webtoon will have a different ending. Ooh, indeed, and it's an intentional design. But anyway, so one thing that stands out to me about the monster design in the webtoon, right, is that their psychotic smile. You get actually to see the monster themselves smile as they torture their victim.
Yeah, but in the show, it's like it looks like they're just doing their job.
Yeah, just like
and I just run away. Like, goodbye.
We got another run over here.
Ooga, you don't run,
I need to go home to my wife. Ooga, pound. Ooga, burn the dude. Ooga, go to hell again. Ooga, feed family.
Ooga, sleep. Ooga, get up again.
Oh boy.
There's also a bit of problem with the I'm not super invested with the mom and the children subplot. No, okay, so yeah, so that subplot I don't really mind that much, honestly, because I've seen that done better like somewhere else. But
What, Children of Men?
I actually don't really like Children, man. To be honest with you, I prefer like Logan, but it kind of feels a bit soap opera-y, you know. Just the way they execute it.
Agree about her sad story.
It's a bit mopey and honestly even kind of rushed as well. But then again, they're also on like a time crunch where they're pressured to pretty much like think. Um, they have to make like tough decisions like within like a short time frame, which I mean fine, but honestly, yeah, when the mom just like saw the kids just like they went inside the airport. I mean, yeah, I can tell she's sad, but uh, I don't know. Maybe I kind of want a bit more like emphasis on like her loss of children
Yeah, I
because
get it.
she's
I agree.
no because like you might never see your kid again like ever. So think about that, and you're gonna be fucking breaking down.
That's the thing. Like, you get to see more from like the anguish from the kid's point of view, but not from the mom. And I already had the feeling that the mom is only doing this for the money anyway.
I mean, even okay, about the money thing, right? So okay, it's not established in the series clearly, but I can kind of already guess that she basically divorced her husbands just to get like child support, right? I think so.
But
Um,
twice?
I mean, you can technically do child support twice, right? If you divorce twice from two different people, right?
I think that's the thing, though. Is that she's basically a very fake character. And basically, her entire character is just a foreshadowing that the decree is random. That even the cult leader himself already had the decree.
Mm.
Like that, at least that's my interpretation. Although you're right, that whole subplot, I think it could have been done much better.
Also, there's also like this young girl, right? I forgot from which. I'm not sure like, from which like dad, but the younger pretty much the wants to do like this revenge thing together with the cult leader Jung Jinsu.
The
Remember that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a bit out of nowhere, honestly.
I thought it will lead to something, but I was wrong about it.
Yeah. It's like oh okay. Where is this going? I
Well,
mean, I'm not really even that interested because it's another revenge plot. It's like, oh, okay.
it's another revenge plot. Although I think it did lead to the discussion between the detective and the cult leader about free will, sort of.
Not really. Not really. I
Yeah,
mean,
because he like, even though, I mean, I suppose he kind of manipulated her, but then again, he explicitly said that this is from the daughter's free will anyway.
because technically, I think you can just remove this, and I don't think it will matter that much with the story because it will still work just as well on its own without it. Honestly.
Uh, okay, maybe replace it with something else because it is a build up towards that debate about free will, the sadistic choice at the end of episode 3.
Hmm. Honestly, the stuff that I pretty much don't like is mostly just minor stuff. Because it's again really good show, very very good show. Okay, so anything else you want to say for the things you really don't like?
Yeah, well, I mean, like, what else I don't like? I think that's it, really.
Okay.
Oh,
Right.
no,
Mhm.
okay, go on. You go on.
No, I was about to say let's start with the trivia section, which honestly is not a lot. It's just like I just wrote like 3 dots and that's it. I was trying to I'm trying to go to IMDb, trying to go to like TV tropes and all these different websites, and they like even Wikipedia like Like the trivia section is just basically, oh yeah, they won this award in this film festival, or this award in that film festival. It's like, yeah, great for them. I mean, honestly, a lot of movies and shows won some sort of award, somewhere, right? It's not like a huge accomplishment. It's not like Parasite where it won like, best. Like when did Parasite win again? Best Picture? Did it? Or like best actress of blah blah blah.
I don't
Like
remember.
actually competing with American films, in the same category. That is an accomplishment. Okay, there's this one thing that it's the first Korean drama series to world premiere at the Toronto International Film Festival. It's like, oh, okay, great. I mean, honestly, that's kind of an accomplishment if within of itself, because it's the first Korean drama series. I'm not sure about movie though. I'm pretty sure there are there are movies that already won some awards in the Toronto International Film Festival, because it's pretty international at that point.
All right, enough about big awards. But if I may ask you personally, Wilson, do you think that Hellbound is a top 10 best series in your mind?
I think for a miniseries, probably top 15.
Top 15, huh?
Probably.
Wow.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
really hard climb, huh?
Yeah, I'd say that. Okay, I'll tell you this. I haven't seen a lot of Korean shows yet, because the ones that I've recently seen is just Squid Game and this. Okay. And Parasite, and well, not a series, but I mean, honestly, I'm not super exposed to Korean media because of its stigma, with yeah, like those cheap soap operas, on like TV, where like usually it's like your like your mom or like your like grandma is like super into it. Because I used to be kind of not really a sucker, but it's more like, oh yeah, it's kind of cool, it's kind of cute, the boy meets girl, they get along, they kind of tease each other, and they're just like this love triangle thing. But obviously, eventually, when you're starting to see like more medias that actually starting to explore different themes here and there, then your standards just go higher and higher. We could talk about Voice Before Flowers next time. Oh
Don't
boy.
you dare. I already watched F4 before. I don't need to watch another.
Wait, you did? You did?
Yes, I was a kid.
Oh, yes! We're gonna do that. We're gonna do that one day.
F4 refers to Meteor Garden. It's a Taiwanese show, which I forgot where's the novel came from. Is it from China?
I don't know. I don't
Well,
know.
whatever,
I,
right?
I,
But
I honestly don't care.
the thing is, right, it's so popular in Asian countries. It's practically spawned many series. We even have like an Indonesian iteration of it. I forgot what's the name.
Oh yeah,
English
you're
name.
right. Yeah.
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 But it's the same story over and over, just in different culture. Don't you get me watch another one of those iteration. But anyway,
Like I said before, right? So this is originally a short film back in 2003. 2003. So that's like what, almost 10 years ago, huh? Well, actually no, almost 20 years ago. Oh my god, that's so long. So it's a short animation film first by the same director. Then what happens is later on he worked together with the screenwriter of the show, who is who actually draw the webtoon comic book. Well, I'm not sure what you call a comic book in like Korea, because in Japan it's called manga.
they call them a webtoon, just webtoon in general. Yeah,
Okay,
because
okay.
it's purely an online media.
Okay. That's it. Yeah. So also by the same name, called the Hellbound.
Or just Hell, yuck, right?
I don't think they have a English translation, do they?
Oh, they do.
Oh, they do. Oh,
You
okay,
can read
okay.
it for free, although
Oh,
to get to the latest chapter, you have to pay for it. But I'm going to give it a try.
let's hope they don't pull a Game of Thrones up our ass. Like just hope they don't do that. They're not gonna do that, are they? Please
Wait,
don't
the
do
series
that.
finished first before the source material?
It's possible. It's possible.
I gotta say, right? I was surprised when you mentioned that this is actually started as a short animation, and then adapted to a webtoon, and then adapted to a series. It's
Yeah.
like as someone who's into Japanese media, right? Usually they start as a manga first, and then into an anime, and then there's a spin-off novel. Or if the anime is very popular, it's an original anime, they'll make a spin-off manga, which is just less popular. So yeah, this is a very weird life cycle, I should say.
I'll tell you this. Kudos to Yon Sang-ho and his and his writing team. They're able to stick with their guns and hey, we have a great concept. We're gonna stick to it, no matter how long it will take. We're gonna make it. We're gonna keep making this, and hopefully one day it will. People will actually eventually catch up. Which actually it did. It kind of did.
Yeah.
It's something like even with like Squid Game, right? Because it was also originally like the director, the showrunner. I forgot like what's the guy's name, but he already has that idea 10 years ago actually, but nobody is willing to back him up, like financially speaking. So he's like, okay, fine. Then he just does like a bunch of gigs here and there until eventually when he or pretty much have a name for himself. So you know what, kids? Maybe dreams can come true. Maybe this podcast will take off someday. You just keep grinding.
Not just kudos for the writers only, right? But kudos for everyone, like the production house, the actors. Bravo, bravo.
Yeah.
And also the VFX team, even though we have disagreement with the design. Good job, guys. Yeah, I gotta say, like, as far as this podcast go, right? This is probably one of the top series that we talk about. Well, not top series, I'll say top media, other than Dune and Come and See. Don't you think?
Come and see. What do you mean by like top media on for
I
come
mean,
and
like,
see?
we really like Come and See, remember?
We do.
And we talk more positive than the negative, like way more positive.
I guess so.
Yeah.
I guess so. We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see about our next episode, which will be Twisted Pair.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
For you, dear listener, who doesn't know about Twisted Pair, it's directed by Neil Breen, an infamous director.
Don't tell them. They
Let
need to
them figure
taste.
it out.
No, they need to taste the magic of Neil Breen, and then they would, and then by that point they will be, they will automatically become Neil Breen's cult members,
Yeah,
just like
that
us.
guy.
Yes. That guy is that guy is a messiah. It's like he's
Messiah of indie filmmaker.
All right, guys. So that's it for this episode.
Hellbound.
See you guys next time. 안녕하세요. Is that how you say? 안녕하세요? Or is it hello?
That's for hello.
All
right, just say bye.
감사합니다. Okay, fine. Comes to say bye. Bye.
Bye. Thank you, dear listeners, for listening to us Potatoes Rambling. Make sure to follow us on social media. Have a great starty day!